Okay then, what am I talking about here? That's right, speed of light. And what about the speed of light? Well, I've got a problem with the speed of light, just light travel altogether. It only takes what is it, like 7 minutes or something to reach Earth? Or is it 7 seconds? I don't know. But on this little travel out to the edge of the solar system, just past Jupiter, and coming up on at Saturn, and well, I see sort of have a problem with it because if it takes 4 hours for light to travel out to Neptune and then bounce off Neptune, there went Saturn, just flew past. We're going to bounce off Neptune, and then the light's going to return back to Earth, taking roughly another 4 hours. So it took 7 seconds to get to Earth, 4 hours to get to Neptune, and back. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is, before we had all these instruments and before NASA, before mainstream science, or really science as a thing, not just something people did, especially like astrology. There's cultures going back, way back, that have been studying the stars. But before we had instruments and things, the planets, a lot of the planets were already seen, they were known of, they were definitely named and called, different things and representative of different things. Like, they say Mars is the planet of war or whatever. There's no planets really out there. Whatever they are, I don't think they're what they say they are. But see, this light, it's got to travel all the way out to Neptune and all the way back. And yeah, well, they knew of Jupiter and Saturn, and they knew of these things, these so-called planets, before they had instruments, didn't they? So what am I saying? I know I'm dragging it out a little, but the light's got to get all the way to Neptune and back in my little video here, so I'm going to drag it out a little. But the point being, if we didn't have instruments to calculate everything, and well, Neptune rides the ecliptic, doesn't it? It has a pattern, doesn't it? They've been studying it and watching it do its retrograde motion, and watching how long it takes to do one orbit of the Earth. Oh, sorry, of the Sun. Yeah. So, what my thing about it is, the light's about to get to Neptune. It took 4 hours to get there. And then it's going to bounce off Neptune and it's going to go back. My problem is, how did they even know of the ecliptic? How did they even know of anything in that respect? Because, see, for them to know that Neptune is riding on the ecliptic, they have to know the ecliptic's there, they have to know Neptune's there. These things have to be in play before they can know that there's an ecliptic, before they can say that Neptune rides the ecliptic. Now, there's no way that they saw Neptune or any of the so-called planets, wandering stars, but so-called planets. There's no way they could have seen any of them and made any determinations, because this light, when it comes to Neptune, like, you can use Jupiter, you can use Saturn, because it takes time for the light to reach there and then reach back to the Earth. And the problem is that this light has to travel out there and then travel back. Now, what's my problem with that? I know I seem to be stressing it, but I'm not really getting to the point. My problem is, how can the light even reach us? Well, because they say that the sun is bolting along at millions of miles an hour, the Earth's following that, and then you've got all the other planets following as well, and they're all like spiraling around the sun as the sun rockets through space. Okay? And so if the sun's moving, and we're moving along with the sun, then how could they say that there was an ecliptic way back, before they had instruments or before they could fly out there or whatever? However they found that there's an ecliptic, because there's no way they could have. Because the light that returns back to us took 8 hours to get out there and back. Now, if the sun is traveling and we're following the sun, and the sun's moving millions of miles an hour, it's moving away from the spot it was when the light left the sun. But it's got to travel all the way out to Neptune and then bounce off it and get all the way back to Earth for us to be able to see it. Now, for us to see it, we would not see any of the planets on the ecliptic. They wouldn't be lined up. You wouldn't be able to get an alignment of the planets, because their light would come back delayed. As Poncho said, well, someone said it, and we thought it was quite funny, because they said old light, which is so true. It is like it's old light, because nothing keeps the light going, yet it travels, yeah? It just keeps going, and I don't know what happens to the light after it keeps going, but yeah, it just keeps going, I suppose. To the edge of the universe. Well, there can't be an edge, because light would just keep going, wouldn't it? So the light's got to travel out there and back. We've then got to work out where the ecliptic actually is, because every planet would be below where the ecliptic is, and the further the planet is out, the lower it's going to be, because we've risen up and away from the spot we were in when the light was sent out. So the light has to reflect and come all the way back to us. It's like this, right? There's no way that this can be real, because this means, if this is real, if light can get to out to Neptune, out to any of the planets, bounce off, reflect off it, and get back to us, okay, then that light has to be rejected upwards to where we're going to be. So we'd have to see, where we'd see the light, we'd have to be looking down back to where Neptune was when the light reflected off it 4 hours ago. Okay, so we'd see it in the position, not in the position it was. It'd be like this, right? It's like this. Take two mirrors, face them towards each other, then put a torch in between the mirrors. Did I say mirrors? Yeah. Take two mirrors, face them towards each other, and put a light in between the two mirrors. Turn the light on, then turn the light off and take the torch away. Judging by this, the light being able to bounce off Neptune and come back, you should be able to take the torch away and the light just keeps bouncing between the mirrors and never stop. That's just logical. So there you go. Out to Neptune and back. And apparently we didn't move anywhere. See, they just, from what they tell us and what we observe and what we can see, it doesn't go together. See, they just showed us the light going out there and back. And no, they didn't show the Earth moving and the sun moving and everything, did they? So they just showed it so as if it was just sitting there. But the light isn't going to keep travelling the way the Earth was, is it? Because it's relative. So once it's shot out, it just goes outwards, straight out. Like if I had a ball and I spun it above my head, let it go, it'd just go out. It wouldn't keep going around in an arc or anything. It'd just go outwards. And we all know that. It's just physics. So if anyone can explain why we see planets on the ecliptic and not below the ecliptic, or where they were when the light reflected off them, then I'm not going to believe that we're on any ball floating around in a big vacuum because they can't prove it. It just makes absolutely no sense, and it's nonsense if you ask me. So, how can the light travel out to Jupiter, bounce off it, and get back to us for us to see it on the ecliptic? It would be below the ecliptic. We wouldn't even know there was an ecliptic. All the planets would be below the ecliptic, and we wouldn't know that there was one unless we went out there and would have to go to each planet and go, oh, that planet is there. But no one's ever been to Neptune, so how do we know it's even there? Maybe that light maybe Neptune's way above us and it travels around above us and we're traveling up towards it and it's in front of us. And where we see it looks like it's on the ecliptic, but it's actually way above us, 4 hours above. Okay, so it doesn't make sense. That's why NASA is so stupid. Their own stuff just clashes with their own stuff. Sorry, but it does. Okay, I love yous all, and I'll leave yous all again. And yeah, God bless, and use your brain. Don't let NASA be the brain for you. They're dumbasses. Okay, bye.